So let's go back to 12 years ago. Yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
I went to University of Lagos. I studied theater somewhere around, I think I was in my third year. And that's how I knew William Benson, by the way.
From then?
We knew each other from school. But story for another day. Yeah. My third year is when I realized that I wanted to focus on film. So I did a short film. It was SHIT. But then I decided that this was something that I wanted to pursue, whatever. So as soon as I finished school, I got an opportunity to work with Lancelot, who runs Del York Creative Academy. And at that time, they got New York Film Academy to come to Nigeria to do like a 1-month course in Abuja, which I went for. And immediately I finished that, I was like, you know what? I want to make a film. So first out of film school, first project.
Plenty fire in your bones.
Plenty fire, like we gotta make it. And then I said, you know what, let me call all my friends, So Okujaye was a friend of mine at the time. Kenny Banke was in my church. You got all these, like, all friends and family. Yeah. Let's make a film. We raised some cash. Again, friends and family, gave us, money. And then we made it. And the truth is, I didn't know what I was doing. It was just driven by passion. But we made it. And the film did premiere in the cinemas. And we spent 5 million naira.
5 million naira.
Making that film. Unfortunately, I made like 400K. And I was owing people money. It was a terrible experience, but it was my very first experience. And for me, I was like, you know what, maybe no more films for now. I needed to just find myself, understand how the industry works, and find a stable space where I can make the kind of things that I love, which is how I got into TV. So yeah.
Do you feel like, because your first cinema outing wasn't the best, in fact, it was a loss, do you think that it puts you under any pressure? Even though I know the James that made that is very different from who you are today or where you are now in your career. Did it put any bit of pressure on you?
No. I think I've said this to Lillian. Even when I said I would do it, and we signed a contract, like maybe 2 months in, I was just telling myself, I said, why am I going to put myself on that high jump? Like, I don't think I can do this. I'm going to disappoint this woman. This woman, yay! Like, and I used to tell her, like, the day she came to watch the film, like the first cut, like, she cried. In my mind, I was like, this woman is going to kill me, man. She don't like these people. I don't die. How do I jump? Where, do you get? And, but again, when we had the conversation, she was crying because she loved it. And I was like, Jesus. Yeah. I'm not sleeping in jail today. However, I was happy because what we've done had surpassed any other thing that we've done. And every time I watch the film, I've probably seen this film like maybe 35 times. I'm just grateful. Like, for me, like sometimes I tell myself, like, I'm not the one that, like, it's not us. Like, I don't think it's me. But it's just a testament to the fact that we surpassed whatever it is that we've done, before. And that's why it's important. That's why we do what we do.
What do you like about making epics?
So, I was very interested, I still am very interested in history. And it's not like I went looking for it. Sometimes it just comes and I'm like, oh, this happened. And so the reason why I like telling epic stories is that it's like you're giving a slice of history, whether it's fiction or not, but you're transporting people into a world that they can actually feel they can see. Yeah. Maybe not experience, but they can experience it visually. And so that's why I like doing epics. It's not something, and to be honest, I just fell into it because, not necessarily because there was a time when I first started Fimo, because my first company was Studio 84. It wasn't Fimo. When we started Fimo, we wanted to just tell authentically African stories. And I think one of the ways to do it was by going into doing epics. This was then, though, not now. And I thought that it was also a niche type situation. So when the opportunity came, which was at Joche in 2018, we kind of took it, and so on and so forth. To tell you the truth, when Lillian approached me for Osamede, I swore to myself before we had the conversation that I was done doing epics. Right. Like, I'm tired. Just, and I was like, it's okay, I want to do something else. Okay. Because, and I say this because you're in rooms where you're pitching to do, contemporary shows, and I'm like, it's not James Epic, Jonathan. I'm like, no, I want you to tell other things. So when she approached me, somebody else had approached me to say, well, they wanted to do a Benin Epic. Funny enough, Somebody came and said, I'm telling you that they wanted to do an Benin epic. I even thought that person was even more serious than she was, right? Because I told her when we had a conversation that somebody has approached me. I don't know. But I think what I liked about this was all the other stuff I've done is television shows. They're very long form. So it's either it's 260 episode shows or 130 episode shows. The opportunity to do this and for the dream that Lillian had, which translated to the dream that I had, was to look at what was, and shout out to everybody who has done, epic stuff, great, but to look at what people were doing and elevate the craft. Okay. Because when you make a film, that's why I show business. So there's the art form in itself, and then there's a business side of things. If I want people to come and watch this movie, how well polished can I make it? And so that when people see it, it's very different from what has already been done. So that no matter where you see it, whether it's screen grabs or frame grabs or whatever, you're like, and like this is different. Like in the costumes, the color, the VFX, everything, and so we just wanted to elevate the production value of this particular film and put it in a place where even if somebody saw it outside the country, they would appreciate it. And I've gotten a lot of comments, and these are things that people have said. Somebody said, is this another Wakanda? Another person has said, oh, this doesn't look like a Nigerian production. It looks like something that was shot in East Africa. People have said all sorts of things, and that's a testament to the fact of, the work that we put in, in the film.
There's something that the cast kept saying about your directing choice, where it's an epic and people are supposed to be outwardly, say, aggressive. They were saying that they were giving more, and you'd be like, just step it down a bit. What informed that decision? So
even though, like us as Nigerians, we're very dramatic, right? But there's a subtlety in our conversations most times. I feel like when you're over dramatic, you take away from the message of what you're trying to pass. Do you get? So you when there's a need to be over dramatic, there's a need to be over dramatic. When there's a need to be soft, there's a need to be soft. Because whether I like it or not, we all interpret. So there's what you say and there's what you don't say that I get. Yeah. When you over dramatize, then I misunderstand what you are saying and I don't believe you. I don't know if that makes any sense. The whole point of the film is for it to be believable because it's a hero's journey. How if I can't identify with the hero, then why am I watching the film? I'm just watching an action film. Do you understand? But there's a story there that needs to be followed, and Ivie, who's the main character, needs to be human, and inhuman, not over dramatized, but just there's a subtlety in the way she behaves, even with Nosa, even with Adeyemi, even with all these other characters, Etinosa's character, it's the story of an everyday girl, do you understand, who was gifted natural powers. And what is the life of an everyday you're not shouting now, why are we doing this? No, like, do you get, like, if you talk like that, everybody will get tired. And so that was how I toned it down, even for Iyase, who coincidentally is my favorite character in the film.
I was going to ask.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't care about something. I do, actually. But I like his character because for the first time, I saw a villain who's a villain.
Okay.
Like, he's not shouting. Do you understand? He's just, there's an air. Do you understand? Like, when he walks, there's a scene I can't, oh, Jesus.
Is that your favorite scene?
Yes.
Okay.
My favorite scene. There's a scene where, don't worry, when the time comes, I'll point you to the scene. But there's a scene where he walks into a village. He's not shouting. He just walks into the village. The only thing he says is just kill them. That's all. We're not having a discussion. We're not debating. Jonathan, I don't really care what you look like. Where's the girl? It's not here. Oh yeah, goodbye. Moving on, right? No, we're not shouting. Jonathan, proper villain.
Who was that character that nailed all their scenes in one take?
All of them. Everybody did. Okay. No, not one take. They all didn't do one take. No, hey! One take fire. Let me tell you one second. So there's a scene, and every time I see that scene, I always laugh. It made it into the cut, but I liked it. So it was William Benson's first day. Okay. So William Benson's first day, there's a scene towards the middle of the film. So he was doing his lines, and he forgot his lines. So he was hitting his head. But I left it in the cut because I liked it. So every time I see it, because it's always like, something, I'm always seeing him do this. Every time I see it, I'm just like, I remember this day. He was eating his head. I said, leave it there. It's good. I love it. But it looks like he was, like you're a mad king and then you're talking and then you're talking. Do you understand? But this forgot his nice.
Last question. Wonder Woman vs. Osamede.
Osamede now, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, sure.
What are we talking? Osamede will flog her one time, like disgrace her.
Okay.
She basically has the power of Osanobu. That's like the power of of God. Oh. So let me tell you the funny thing, and this is my own gist. It's my own creative law. Whatever Osamede does in the film is just a tip of the iceberg of what she can eventually do. Do you understand? It's not like it's not like Superman came from another planet. You're like a god. Like you basically, because if you there's a story behind the Arusa stone. So it's that like Osanobu dropped the stone and said like this is like my essence. Do you understand? So take it. In fact, the stone is not even supposed to be in a human being, but her mom did like a forbidden thing and put the entire power of that stone inside of her. So you're a god now. It's like Juliet. So even that one that she's doing is small. Like there's a thing in the end of the film that's really beautiful. When you see it, you will understand.